All right, welcome to Wealth and Prosperity. Today we're going to be going over emotion, specifically a little bit on fear, and why these two things, well, fear is an emotion, so why emotion can either hinder us or help us. So let's get into it. So a lot of us don't get to where we want to be because we think that we can't do anything better than ourselves. We are only here to go to work, clock out, go home, do some stuff for fun, get paid, and spend it all, and then repeat the next week or every 2 weeks or every month, however often you get paid. But we're stuck into a belief system that we can't really do anything. And then you see people that are doing things and prospering and moving above, and what's the difference? Well, they have something within them that's pushing them to do those things. A little bit of a spark, so to speak. And a few things that causes us to do things or to move, like I went over in one of the previous videos, are number one, external circumstances, needs and desires, and especially emotions. Aside from passion, emotion is one of the number one motivators. Our decisions are all based on emotions. It depends on how we feel to then have the desire to do something. If you wake up miserable in the morning, chances are you probably won't do anything productive unless it's a need. And then you will move to do that. Or unless there's an external circumstance like a bill to pay. And some people won't even pay certain bills. Some people will actually let circumstances rule them and control them and hinder them and not let them grow whatsoever. So when talking about emotion, I want to ask you right now, how do you feel right now and why? Are you feeling right now because of something that happened in the past? Something that happened earlier in the day? Something that just happened? Are you living in the now and you're just neutral or excited for something? Are you thinking about the future? Is something about to happen and so you feel excitement or fear about something? What emotion do you have? And figure out why you're feeling it. And if it's a bad emotion, you're going to want to nip it in the bud. I can't tell you how to do that because I don't know what circumstances that you're dealing with right now. So think about your life picture right now. Think about who's all in it, all the situations, almost like a big portrait. And I want you to filter out all the things that are keeping you from having the perfect dream portrait that you see and desire. Certain people, certain jobs, certain events, certain circumstances, certain hobbies, certain things that you do, the ways that you think, especially the ways that you think. Because depending on our current emotion, we're either going to go up or we're going to go down. And with down, we all know the saying, shit rolls downhill. And this is why I also said to have gratuity while you're at work, because the emotion from gratuity is very positive, and it'll make your night shorter, it'll make everything feel better, and it'll really distress you, because you don't need stress. A lot of stress comes from negative emotions. And stress will not bring you into any prosperity, it won't bring you into any growth, it'll actually kill you. Stress actually kills you, and I know we all know that, so I'm not going to go on the science behind stress. But there's a certain emotion that really hinders us the most, and that is fear. Being aside to sadness and depression, there's a lot of things that cause that, and that stems off in its own sort of web. But there's a main thing that will either cause us to move or stay put or not do anything, and that is fear. A lot of us fear other people judging us. A lot of people fear what people are going to think. And the only thing that you should care about is what you think of yourself. How do you feel about yourself right now? Your actions and your decisions and where you've gotten yourself already. That's what matters, and that's what pushes you. Because if you aren't happy about something or you don't want someone to judge you, it's probably because of the certain situation that you're in, and you don't want to be looked down on for something that you feel like you should rise above. Because a lot of people that don't do anything, whenever you talk about doing something, people will judge you and, give you crap. It's just natural. But there's two types of fear. There's biochemical fear, which isn't very bad. It's really just instinct. That's what biochemical fear is. It's like the fight or flight mode. Like if there's a really bad situation, you're going to feel that adrenaline rush, your heartbeat's going to pump up, and you're going to try to figure out either how to get out of whatever's going on or how to overcome it. So biochemical fear isn't bad. It's like a response. But the type of fear that is bad, which is the other type of fear, is emotional fear. And it's completely individualized, it's completely personalized, and it's only for you. And this is the type of fear that actually holds us back. And so the fear to go out and do something is a complete obvious statement that you aren't going to do that thing because you are afraid to do it or afraid of something that could stem out of it. See, you could go to the other job that looks very promising and has a lot of more money, but you have that fear of getting out of your comfort zone, something you're not used to. And the comfort zone is the worst zone to be in. You grow whenever you move out of that comfort zone. I heard a guy talk about how whenever he'd do push-ups, he wouldn't start counting until they hurt, because that's when it really counts. It doesn't count until you move out of that comfort zone, and fear will keep you inside that circle. Because I've also heard it once said before about courage and fear. Nelson Mandela said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." See, a lot of people think they're courageous because they don't fear anything, but they stay put in their comfort zone, and that's not courageous at all. It's when you move out of the comfort zone, whenever you overcome fear, triumph over it, as Nelson Mandela said. And if we have fear as that emotion's going to hinder us because, as I said before, emotions will rule your day and your decisions. And like I said before, it all starts in the thought. This is why you want to filter out your negative thoughts. You can think more clearly. You can be way less stressed. You can be more responsive, more productive. Wayne Dyer wrote in, I don't know which book. I actually did not read this book that it came from, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. He said, if we focus on what's ugly, we attract more ugliness into our thoughts, and then into our emotions, and then ultimately our life. And there's so much truth in that. Because as he said, you think of bad, basically, you're going to attract more bad, as I've said before. And the first thing he said, it's into our thoughts, and then into our emotions, and then into our life. And a lot of people don't get this because they're stuck in their emotions, and they don't realize why they're stuck in their emotions. The first step is the thoughts. The thoughts from the conscious mind go into the subconscious mind, will vibrate, and emotions have to do with vibrations. There's different frequencies of emotions. And to get rid of certain emotions that you're not wanting, you need to start filtering out the thoughts that cause them. Because if you don't, those emotions are going to come by and then rule your decisions, which your decisions are what get you where you want to go. And you won't be able to complete your goals if you're letting emotions control your life. If you're letting other people control your emotions especially. And we're going to go over how to not let anybody get to your emotions, because once you can let that go, you will start zooming to where you want to be. And I am not kidding. So we want to control thoughts before they become emotions. All you really have to do is just every negative thought, reject it, reject it, reject it, reject it, reject it. And you will know what those negative thoughts are. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Only you can tell yourself. And a lot of our day's actions are like the shit rolling downhill. They start off in the morning. We become very stressful in the morning, a lot of us, right when you wake up. Unless you work a third shift and you wake up in the middle of the night. The beginning of your day is really what sets off the rest of the day. A lot of people wake up, they'll either sit in bed for a second and then fall back asleep, which is fine for now. But whenever you start moving, you're going to probably be waking up for something. You'll have a goal, a purpose, something to actually work for, and it feels good. But as soon as we wake up, sometimes people will check their text and something happened or someone texted them and just all these other things getting to them. And some people will check their schedule and they have the worst schedule at work and they're like, I gotta work today. Some people will ruin the entire first half of their day just because they work later on in the night. And it makes no sense whatsoever, because you've got all that time, just an hour. If you just had an hour before work and you were working from all day to all night, just an hour is enough time to be productive to move you just a little bit closer to your goals. So what we need to do in the morning is not wake up and immediately worry about something. A lot of us get into that subconscious habit to be stressed in the morning, and we will end up finding a reason to be mad. A lot of people are grumpy in the morning because of this. And while you will get into a better mood, maybe by noon or in a few hours, it can cause things to happen later on in the night. It can cause you to wake up even worse the next day. As soon as you wake up, think about what you want to do for the day, what you want to get done for yourself, what time you want to invest in yourself. Think about something that's about to happen. You should be excited all the time. That is the best emotion. That's my favorite emotion. Excitedness. It's the best one to have. It just feels great. And a good way to wake up de-stressed is, like I said in the first video, get into rhythmic breathing. I said that the best time to do it is all the time if you can actually get into the habit of it. But if you can't do that, just do it right before bed. You will actually get better sleep. And in the first video, I went over the benefits of rhythmic breathing. And it's not going to happen the first night. It's not going to happen the second night. All the things I tell you, these aren't going to happen overnight. This takes practice. And you will get into a way better mindset, a way better mood, a way better vibration. We want good vibes here, right? It's the main goal, right? Because you want to be fulfilled and also have all the money. Because if you just have the money and no fulfillment, the money's going to go, the happiness is going to go. Eventually you won't have any friends because, trust me, we can all tell who's fulfilled and who's not fulfilled just by talking to somebody and listening to their rituals and habits. We can already tell how they spend their time and how they feel about themselves. This video is getting kind of long, so if you got something out of this, if you enjoy what I have to talk about, let me know that I'm getting out to somebody out there. Give me a subscribe, a like, whatever. I will for you all to prosper, and have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.